to the stormy skies. We've got the latest updates, hear the weather rise. Tropical Storm Central, your weather friend, will guide you through the storms till the very end. Stay safe, stay smart, we're here for you. With every stormy heartbeat, we'll see you through. Radar to tracking, we're on the scene. With forecasts and warnings, know what they mean. Hurricanes, tropical storms of the night, we're your trusted source, keeping you in sight. Tropical Storm Central, your weather friend, will guide you through the storms till the very end. Stay safe, stay smart, we're here for you. With every stormy heartbeat, we'll see you through. Skies rumble and the rain starts to pour, tune into Tropical Storm Central. We do it all and more. Stay tuned, stay prepared, let us lead the way. Together we'll weather the storm, come what may. So when the skies rumble and the rain starts to pour, tune into Tropical Storm Central. We do it all and more. Stay tuned, stay prepared, let us lead the way. Together we'll weather the storm, come what may.
From sunshine days to stormy nights, we track the systems, keep you in sight. Hurricanes, blizzards, or summer heat, tropical storm central can't be beat. Tropical storm central, your shield through any weather. Rain or shine, we're standing by, keeping you safe together. Radar tracking, forecast clear. When danger's coming, we're right here. Tornadoes, floods, or lightning strikes, we're on the air day and night. Trust in our team when skies turn gray. Real-time updates throughout the day. Your safety is what matters most, from coast to coast. Tropical Storm Central, your shield through any weather. Rain or shine, we're standing by, keeping you safe together. Tropical Storm Central, weather you can trust, keeping communities prepared. We're watching out for us. From sunshine days to stormy nights, we track the systems, keep you in sight. Hurricanes, blizzards, or summer heat, tropical storm central can't be beat. Tropical Storm Central, your shield through any weather. Rain or shine, we're standing by, keeping you safe together. Radar tracking, forecast clear. When danger's coming, we're right here. Tornadoes, floods, or lightning strikes, we're on the air day and night. Trust in our team when skies turn gray. Real-time updates throughout the day. Your safety is what matters most, from coast to coast. Tropical Storm Central, your shield through any weather. Rain or shine, we're standing by, keeping you safe together. Tropical Storm Central, weather you can trust, keeping communities prepared. We're watching out for us. From sunshine days to stormy nights, we track the systems, keep you in sight. Hurricanes, blizzards, or summer heat, tropical storm central can't be beat. Tropical Storm Central, your shield through window.
Good morning, TSC family. My voice is a little full this morning, guys. My sinuses are so messed up. It's crazy. That's the reason I've been posting a lot rather than doing live broadcast. I'm messed up. Sorry. What we're gonna do today, I'm gonna show you guys how I use Chat GPT. Okay? I'm gonna show you how I use it. And can it make some mistakes sometimes? Yes, yes. It is absolutely possible for ChatGPT to make spelling errors and all kinds of things. But there's two different things on ChatGPT that there's a higher level uh, of um of thinking is what it's called. Then there's a less level of thinking. Well, if I use the lower level of thinking, I get a product that spits out a lot faster. There's one even faster, but the accuracy of that is really a lot more. So I've been using the second level. I'm gonna go to the third level, okay, for more accuracy. But it takes a while for things to get produced, and I'll kind of show you how it all works a little bit here, okay? And so bear with me a little bit. There's a little bit of things I have to do here in front of you guys so you guys understand exactly how this is produced and how I've been doing it. I try to read every single word that's within it, okay? And I think I've been doing a decent job, honestly. Right now, though, what I do, and guys, I am not going to nitpick things that other forums have been doing. I've been watching a few forums out there, and man, as quick as they see something horrible on one model, they post it. Now, if I did that, if I showed you all the worst things that every model gives you every single time, you guys wouldn't even be following me, honestly. Honestly, you'd say, "Golly, gee, this guy's just there hyping. That's all he's doing." I don't do that stuff, y'all. I try to eliminate some of the garbage out there that comes out on some of the models. And I don't mean to call it garbage, okay? But I try to eliminate some of the bad things. Like if there's a run on the GFS that's showing just incredible snowfall down here in the south, for instance, you know what I do? If it shows it like at midnight, I let that go and see what happens at 6 o'clock on the 6 o'clock update and on the noon update to see if it backs it up before I really jump on it and say, yeah, well, I think there's a good chance of that. You know, and I try to get model guidance that shows what is European and GFS. What is it both saying alike? If it doesn't produce something alike, then I'm not going to dwell on it too much. Right now, we have the GFS and European model are agreeing on something. And what it's agreeing on is a severe weather possibility starting off over in Texas, Oklahoma, and then bearing its eyes into Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. And it looks like on the modeling, the further east it goes, the worse it gets. That's kind of like what the model is currently showing. But it starts off over here in Texas, and as we go through time, it moves all the way toward the Panhandle and into Florida. And so it starts off over here about February 13th and ends up over here about February 14th. That's the exact timeline. And both the GFS and European model, y'all, are showing something very, very similar in what it's spitting out. And I'll show you that. And that's the reason I'm kind of locked in to seeing the possibility of a severe weather event. Now, again, I'm gonna say one thing. There's low confidence in this. Why do I say that? Well, until I see something out there from the Storm Prediction Center on that timeline between the 13th and 14th, until I see it visibly from the Storm Prediction Center, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Okay, even though it's locking in on that timeline. Now I get that you guys got Mardi Gras going on down here in the South, and I understand that. And I'm not here to tell you guys one second that any event should be canceled. Okay, let's make that very clear. There is not a single event that should be canceled for Mardi Gras for this, and I'm going to show you all that here. Okay, first of all, we're going to go to the verse of the day that comes from Proverbs, and it says, "Anxiety weighs down the heart, And that's the reason I try to eliminate some of the bad stuff I show you guys sometimes. I see it, and I try to get rid of that until I get more conclusive thought that it's going to be there. It says, anxiety weighs down the heart, but a kind word cheers it up. What a great verse. What a great verse. Anxiety weighs down the heart. I'm not here to ever create anxiety. That's one thing I'm not here to ever do, y'all, is to create anxiety on you guys. Some of these other forums, boy, that's all they want to do. That's all they want to do. Unless I see something pretty definitive to show you, I'm not going to dwell on. That's the responsible thing to do. And that's what I'll. Now, sometimes these things are out there in time. And I tell you all the time, if it's way out there in time, what I always say, now this is now we're getting in about that 8 now. Okay, if you look at the 13th, that's about 8 days out, isn't it? And that's what we got going on. We're about 8 days out. So let's get forward here. What a great verse, Proverbs 12:25. All right, Storm Prediction Center for today shows no thunderstorm activity. Today, day 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is there anything out there, especially on like day 8? Now, this is way out there, right, from the Storm Prediction Center. What I always say, if they don't show anything out there, we're not going to worry about it too much, right? Well, look what they're saying out there, showing out there on day 8. They're not giving us anything there. If they put something out there on day 8, I'd be shocked. Even at 15%, I'd be shocked for them to do it. Because why? Because they don't put a lot of things out there in days 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 unless it's very, very, very meaningful, y'all. Now, do I think that's coming? I probably do. I think we're going to get something out there, maybe over the next couple of days, that the Storm Prediction Center is going to have to put something out there to say in day 6 and 5 when we get closer out there to this event. I think it's coming. I read this live, seeing, and they're definitely looking at what the possibilities are for a severe weather event. They're looking at things, and I read this, and it says upper level patterns should begin to consolidate and amplify. Okay, as a large scale trough develops over the west. So they're saying it's going to start over here. It's going to work its way over here. That's what they're saying. All right, now let's get out of the Storm Prediction Center. Looking at the National Weather Service currently right now, we have a squall line up here that's it's going to be really intensifying up here, y'all. It's going to be some very dangerous driving, and airports up here are going to get really bad up in this area. And what's going to happen, there is some, it's not a lot of snow coming in, but y'all, there's a ton of wind up here in the Northeast that's about to occur. And it's going to create very, very dangerous and treacherous conditions up here with very, very, very wicked wind chills. That's well below zero. That's going to create, man, you get frostbite up here so easy right now from what's getting ready to happen up here. It's crazy. And we got a weather pattern here stuck into this for a few days. Now let me say this: down in Florida, we've been stuck into cold air for some time. We had a little bit of warmth yesterday and got really nice down here. Now we got this frontal boundary coming in, and it's gonna cool right down again. Yep, here we go down again. We're gonna get some very cold air coming in, but it's only going to last till about Sunday, and we're gonna. And you know what? It's gonna last a while until that front around the 13th, 14th comes in, and period. Okay. as I've told you guys many times, if we do not have lighting, have a event going. Well, there's the lightnings right there. I remember I showed you this much, but there's the lightning right there. You can see it right there. And as I go forward, keep in mind this jumps every 6 hours. Okay, this jumps down. When I get to hours like 144, then it goes every 3 hours. But right now it's jumping every 6 hours. Then it starts, and you can see what that's at 7 o'clock in the morning. Next Friday. It's not like we're talking about way out there in time right now, y'all. It's not like we're looking at 14, 15-day forecasts. We're not. We're in that 8 to 9 day time frame right now. So these models are getting better, better, and better, and better at forecasting this possibility here. And you can see the lightning strikes. As we go forward, you see the lightning there at what looks like at 1 p.m. on Friday the 13th. And then as it goes through, now we're getting more of a linear look right there, aren't we? Linear means a line. We're getting a linear line look right there of some severe weather. And then does it go all the way through Florida? Well, it kind of fizzles out a little bit. That's Saturday, February 14th at 7 a.m. There's not a lot of lightning there except right through Tampa Bay right there. There's some lightning. So we have to watch the models to see how severe it gets there in Florida. And there it is, what looks like at 1 p.m. on February 14th. For you guys out there, what day is that? It's Valentine's Day. Don't forget. Okay? It is Valentine's Day. Do not forget. If you forget, you're going to be toast, buddy. You're going. Don't come and talking to me. I don't want to hear it. All right. So now that's the lightning. So what I'm gonna put up now is the instability. What's the instability look like? Okay, there's your instability look right there, and that's what it looks like at 1 o'clock in the morning on the 13th. Quite a bit of instability. Well, there is. The instability goes from Texas all the way up to Indiana and up in Ohio. Now, what do we not need? We don't need an awful lot of instability during the winter months for severe weather, do we? It's not necessary. That's one thing that's not necessary, is that instability is not necessary. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to click this. I'm going to save this image. Let's call it Euro surface cap. Okay. So that's one thing I'm going to save. Okay. Now we're going to flip over to the K index. So I'm going to do the same time up here. Okay. I'm going to do the K index now. K index is important. It's an important piece of the puzzle. You see the K index right there. I'm going to save this. We're going to call it Euro K index. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT today. And my daughter says, Dad, why would you do that for? You got something that nobody else knows how to do. I just want you guys to understand how this is produced. It's great. It's great. Now look at the dew points here, y'all. At 1 o'clock in the morning on February 13th. See these dew points here? Now I just showed you that lightning strike right through there, right? You seen that right there. Now I'm gonna save these dew points. Euro dew points. Okay, you save that now. Okay, now what's the next two things we need? There's two more things when you look at severe weather. What is it? Upper level winds at 500 millibars. What does that look like? And you see what those upper level winds. You see that dip in the jet stream there. There's your upper level winds at 500 millibars. Y'all, it's pretty strong, isn't it? It's pretty strong. Let me show you one thing, though, that happens, though. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to come back to this. But watch this upper level jet. Look what happens as it gets, when it comes over here. Y'all, it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger, isn't it? It's what I said. It looks like to me, everything starts in Texas, but as things move toward the east, things get worse here, y'all. This amplified jet right here gets even. So that's what it looks like. 118. Now it gets down to Florida, things calm down. Boy, Mississippi, Alabama, and we'll go back now at 1 a.m. So let me say this. Euro. And with the dew points being high, the surface cap being in place, okay, and the K index is fairly high too through there, what happens? Well, we got severe weather. You know, we got severe weather, don't we? Okay, so here is the lower level winds, the surface wind. Oops, there's one I want. There's your surface wind, and look, lo and behold, look where these surface winds are coming from. They're coming straight out of the Gulf, right? They're coming straight out of the Gulf, going straight northward there. You see that? Now remember that 500 millibar wind. It's going this direction. So what do we have, guys? We have a perfect negative tilt here set up. It's about as good as it gets right there. Now we're missing a really strong jet until what? Until it gets over here. When that jet stream gets over here, it's really a strong jet over here. So now I'm going to save this image. I'm going to call this Euro surface winds. So I got those 5 pieces saved on the Euro from the Euro model, don't I? Yeah, I do. All right, now next what we're going to do? What we're going to do? We're going to go now to the GFS model, y'all. I want to make sure I get everything covered here. We're going to jump to the GFS. Okay, so there's the GFS, and let's go to the same timeline now. So we have it up. The GFS is in the middle of updating right now, so that won't be a problem. So let's go to that 13th timeline. Let's go to the 13th at 1 a.m. Get the same timeline up here. So we're looking at apples to apples with all this. Okay, there's 1 o'clock in the morning on the 13th. Let's analyze this GFS model now. Let's start up here at the top, where it says severe right there. So what are we going to look at? Well, we're going to look at surface cap. What's surface cap look like? Well, it's not as bad a surface cap on the GFS model currently as not up. Surface cap, GFS, K index. All right. Now what's the next down the line? Dew points. Let's look at the dew points. See what it looks like. You see the dew points there, down there in the south. It's all dry air over here. Dew points are there. They're there in place. GFS dew points. All right. Let's go down the line now. We're going to go to the upper level winds. At 500 millibars. There it is right there. There's your 500. Look at that. Man, look at that. Strong aerial pressure right there in Texas. So there's your 500 millibar winds here. At the same time, February 13th at 1 a.m. GFS 500 millibar. And then the surface wind. And there's your surface. Look at these surfaces. Look what they're doing. Go straight into that strong jet, isn't it? GFS surface wind. All right, now we got everything saved that I need. Now I'm going to open up ChatGPT here. And I'm going to add every one of these graphics. Add photos and pictures. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go right down the line here that I did everything. Okay, so what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start up here. Start down here, right there, surface cap. I'm going to do that one, do that one, do this one, do this one, do this one. We got this one, this one, this one, this one, and I should be able to do 5 or 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should be able to use all 10 of these. Yeah, there we are. Okay, we're going to open all those. See, they're there. Now, I'm going to ask ChatGPT, okay, to analyze this, okay? Okay, and it's going to analyze this already without me even asking. I don't need to ask it anything. Now, I already got some. I'm going to say this to it. Please analyze by region. Okay, here we go. It's analyzing the images now. And let me show you how it works. And then you understand why I've been using there. And here comes everything coming up here. You read what it says. This is a classic cold season severe weather setup. Sharp moisture radiant north in Tennessee. Both models agree on the pattern, which is important. Timing and placements are always the last details to the resolve. Then it goes into the 500 millibar. What does it say? Excellent large scale ascent. Strong shear for organized convection. Favors transition. That means tornadic activity. It talks about the surface. It says here slightly differ, more diffuse convection. Still clearly significant. Tennessee, possibly into Georgia, Carolinas, depending on warm front placements. Important context: this is still 8 days out. Details will shift, warm shift, but the synoptic signal is strong, and this is already looks like a potentially high impact southern severe weather day if trends continue. And y'all, so what I do, I copy all of this. I said, yeah, I everything because I would have posted everything it basically said there. I go over all this with you guys all the time, and y'all, that's what I post. And then down here, okay, it would literally make me a map. Now there's where the problems come. This thing does not do a great job at doing that unless I do this. If I come up here and I go to the strong thinking, okay, and let me just if I hit thinking right here and it reanalyzed all this, it would take a lot longer, and I don't want to do that to you all. But let me show you what happens here. I'm going to tell it now, okay? I'm going to tell it to do one thing. I'm going to say make a graphic showing this like the SPC. And it will know, and it will understand what the SPC is. Now watch what it does. It's going to make us a graphic now. Okay? So you guys understand that yes, I am been using ChatGPT to post all the materials out there, but y'all, I read things and sometimes things get misspelled. Especially on these graphics here. There's where the misspelling comes all the time. So what do I think is going to happen here? We just analyzed it right there. What's going to happen? Y'all, I think we're going to have a severe weather event on that 13th, 14th timeline. It's going to start in Texas. It's going to move into Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and maybe all the way up into Tennessee, Kentucky, and Indiana before it's all said and done. I think that's a possibility. Confidence level is rising on this severe weather threat level, but it's still low. I don't think I can say, yeah, we're going to get something bad here. I can't say that just yet, okay? Can't say that just yet. But it's getting close. Now what did I do? I've told this thing to think a lot harder before it makes this image. So it takes a lot harder for it to make an image here. So while it's doing that now, okay, let's do this. Let's go to the GFS. Now it's still thinking, okay, same time. Let's go back to that GFS model because it was in the middle of updating. And let's look and see what the 12Z run is giving us. It's only out to 109 hours out. It's out to February 9th right now. So we're not far enough out there to really see what it looks like is going to happen here. So let's just see what ChatGPT is doing. See, it's still thinking. And when it comes to making these images, it takes a while, especially when you put thinking up there for it to do. And that's what it's doing. It's analyzing it it is taking all that information that it just seen and it just analyzed, and now it's incorporating that into an image. Now, I pay, I think it's $25 a month for the Pro Style Chat GPT. I think is what we pay is $25 a month. And it's a great tool. And some people are heckling me and say, yeah, God doesn't even know how to use it. Yeah, I do. I know how to use it. I just showed you I know how to use it. What happens is sometimes, though, I don't necessarily look at it, especially on the image, and I should have been looking at it a little closer, and I'm going to from now on. Here it's getting ready to produce an image. It's creating image right now. There's what it produced. Here's the production of it now. It just popped out. Now look what it did. It's not really large enough. Let me open this up so y'all can see this a little easier. Put in a moderate area, category 4 area, and look what he did with the Dagon cities. And here's where the mistakes happen. So what do I say down here? I'm going to say eliminate cities. So I'm going to say eliminate all cities. So it's going to reproduce it and then eliminate all cities. Now we'll come back to this, okay? So what do we think is going to happen here, y'all? I'll tell you what, if you just look at the European model, and I'm going to go back to the European model here for a second, because I think it's the best model to follow. And you start with just I like watching the lightning strikes. Lightning tells us everything. And if you just look at the lightning strikes, it starts up right there on the 13th. That's the 13th at 1 o'clock in the morning. And let me just zoom into that region so you guys can see this a little easier. You can see the lightning there, guys. That's pretty intense stuff. And it's a linear line, isn't it? It's a linear look right there. That initially starts out as a linear look. And then as it goes forward, yes, Houston, you're going to get this as well, okay? You're going to get this as well. And you can see that line kind of breaks up as a linear. Now, what might this be over here? Okay, this is at 7 a.m. So the sun is just not coming up. Now, this is where the danger factor comes into play in Louisiana and southern parts of Louisiana and Mississippi right here. Because why? Well, the sun's up here now. The sun will start heating this up over here before this line over here gets over here. Here's what it looks like next. Now you look at what it looks like at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Now we got some really strong. Now what is happening over here? Boy, that could be some supercell activity right there. All right, that's at 1 p.m. on February the 13th, on Friday the 13th. Yes, I know we got Mardi Gras going on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. But if you look at the European model, okay, and you see all that lightning there, and you look at the K index at that point in time, boy, is it strong. It's 38.5 right through there. Pretty strong K index. What's it like over here? It's not as strong, is it? Look at that linear line there across Texas there, where we see that linear line there of lightning. It's not really as strong, is it? It gets stronger where? As we go eastward. So you can see right across Louisiana and Mississippi, that's a pretty strong K index there, isn't it? And now let's look at the instability. You got instability here of 1,200 in that area. Man, plenty of instability there, isn't there? There's plenty of instability there. And then you just look at the dew points here, guys, and just analyze it. Look at the dew points. 65, 67 dew points in that area. Let's just say 65 dew points. We got 65 dew points. And then you go to where? We go to that 500 millibar wind. What does that wind look like at 500 millibars and 700 millibars? There's your 500 millibar. Screaming right through there at 83 knots. And then 700 millibar, look how strong this 700 millibar is. Y'all, it's just screaming through there. And I'm really pinpointing right there in Louisiana and Mississippi. That's my pinpoint area. There's strong stuff happening back here in Houston at that same time. Strong winds right there at 500. Now here's your lower. If a level wind off straight north into this wind shear, guys, that gives us, and all the other parameters are there. And this is why I'm concentrating on this severe weather event, because everything is really in place. And here's your surface wind. And look where the surface wind's coming from, y'all. Look what's happening. Man, we have a perfect, and I do mean a perfect negative tilt setup. Now, I don't know if this is going to be tornadic or I don't know at this time. It's too early. We're going to have a bad tornado event. But I'm telling you right now, guys, the conditions are set up for that. And whether it happens or not, I don't know. We're too far out there to have a lot of what we got to have. Well, we got to wait 48 hours out before this happens. That's what we're looking at. So we're somewhere around the 11th. I'll give you a better idea. Now, that's 6 days from now, all right? It is. So what am I doing? The only thing I have to do is analyze the European, the GFS model in conjunction with each other. And that's what I've been doing. And that's why at this time, I got to tell you, there's a possibility of not just a strong wind event, but I think we're going to have a few tornadoes out of this thing. I think it's in place. And it's going to happen somewhere in that February 13th and maybe in Florida, you're looking at about the 14th timeline. Over here in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, I think it's going to happen around the 13th. The early morning hours of the 13th starts up in Texas at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. It's right here. And you look at the lightning strikes here at this point in time. Well, there's your lightning right there too. Right where what? Right where that surface wind's going like this. The upper level winds are going like this. The dew points are high, right? So everything is in place for Louisiana and especially Mississippi and probably over in Alabama to get a pretty decent severe weather event coming in place. Now let's look and see what ChatGPT did here. So look what it did. It eliminated the cities because they had cities in the wrong spot, didn't they? I mean, Shreveport was here, down here. Oh, it was everywhere. So I've learned and educated myself here. Like, okay, let's get rid of that. And do I think this is overdone here, where it says level 4 in this area here? I would not put that at level 4 right now. I would not. Storm Prediction Center would not never do this, but this is what it's given us. It's saying it's a level 4 threat. Now, could it be right? Well, man, oh man, I think the opportunity is there that it could turn into a pretty bad severe event based on all the modeling that we're seeing right now. I think that opportunity is there right now. Whether it actually happens or not, y'all, I can't answer that yet. Um, I think that, and it says key hazards: strong tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds, and this is what it's not something that me myself made. This is what AI, if you want to call that, generated based on the analysis that we put in from all that material that spit out. This is what the analysis comes up with from ChatGPT. So don't yell at me personally if you don't think it's correct. And right now, do I think that's overdone? I think it's overcooked. Yes, I do. Now, what I could do is tell ChatGPT to redo with lower risk values, and it will come through and do that. I'll tell it to do that as an example. Okay, let's do that. See, it will kind of tell you can kind of tell it what to do, what you're looking for, and it's going to reanalyze it here. See, I said redo with lower risk values, and it's going to come in there and give us another graphic with lower risk values. And this it's just a tool, okay, is what it is. And I tried to make sure that I do not hype with this tool. Now I could put things in there and say, make that analysis that we did up here. I can make this funny as heck if I wanted to. I can make it hysterically funny. And I was doing that, especially with some of the cold weather and some of the snow and freezing rain that we've seen. I tried to make it a little bit humorous every once in a while, but I thought about it. I said, you know what? That's not me. And help me out, y'all. Do you understand that? That's really not my. I like to be very straightforward and show you the facts as they lie without. Okay, I, I'd rather not. I'd rather just. Do you guys? I can do that. Uh, if you think that it's okay to put humor in this stuff, I prefer not to do that. I think the more straightforward it looks, the easier it is to comprehend. Now I could put graphics out there that looks funny as heck too. But again, I choose to be very straightforward with you guys, so that stuff doesn't kind of gets out of the picture. Some. And what did it do? Okay, it redid it. Okay, with lower risk values. So what did it do? It shrunk down the brighter red here. Okay, you see that? It shrunk down the brighter red, and gosh, it got rid. What it did, it got rid of the key hazards over here. Is what it did, and didn't really do this. So it really didn't do what I wanted it to do. Right? It really didn't do that. So guys, we'll come back. Okay, and I'm gonna get rid of Chat GPT here. So we'll come back and tonight, and we'll reanalyze this stuff. Now, probably it's going to be at 10 p.m., somewhere around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll come back and we're going to reanalyze, and I may even do it earlier than that because the European and the GFS model will be fully updated at like 6 p.m. There's another GFS model update that comes out around 6. So let's say we're going to do this around 6 p.m. Okay, now things can change with my wife. You never know. She may say, "We got plans to go to dinner." I said, "Okay." So bear with me on that. I have no idea what's going to happen here. She's at work. I'm off today completely. So I'm gonna work around the house and get some things done that she doesn't do that I do. We kind of have separate little job things that she does that I do. Okay, and vice versa. She does things that I don't do. So I'm gonna work around the house here today, and I'll be watching the models and see what they do this afternoon because the European model will be updating, and the GFS model is in the middle of updating right now as we speak. So y'all have a great day. I would uh, I would say this that there's a good possibility that we're gonna have a severe weather event. around the 13th, 14th timeline, and it's nothing to worry about right now. But it's gonna, I'm afraid it's gonna operate, uh, be unsettled with some of the Mardi Gras events. And I would say this: don't cancel those at all. If I had a parade going on, I wouldn't worry about it right now. There's the timeline here. That's this squall line you're looking like right here coming through New Orleans area about 1 p.m. Y'all, the time here might be completely off. Okay, it might come in the middle of the night, and then tomorrow morning in any event that might come on through here on say Friday morning on the 13th, you might be fine for that. And there's a good chance that's going to happen, uh, and it's definitely a possibility at this time. So don't change any plans. No reason to do that at all. Never change plans when you're looking at models 8 days out. I would never change my plans for anything like that. Uh, so right now, it looks like a severe weather event. Now let's look at the cold air. Let's look at one other thing before I get out here. Okay, what's winter look like right now? So here's the snow from the European model. Look, you get snow back here in Oklahoma, a little bit of snow coming through Indiana. Nothing really back here in Texas. Down here in the south, don't look like too much. But what is happening here, though? What is happening here? It seems like every model run, some of this snow is getting deeper and deeper in the south here. All right, it looks every model run that snow is getting just a little bit further south. It looks like. And if you go over to the east, over here, they may get pounded over here. Again, some mountain snow here in West Virginia and getting here in the Smoky Mountain Range and Appalachians here. Looks like some snow coming into this area here. When does that all come into play? Well, that comes in basically pretty short time frame here. Happens this Friday. Fairly decent little squall line coming in there, and that's that one that's going to bring some really wicked winds. Now let's just look at that. Let's look at these winds. How strong are these winds going to be? I'm going to go to 96 hours out and stop this right there at 96. Now let's look at the winds. How much wind gusts are we looking at here? Offshore, that's 108. That's insanely crazy. I'm going to zoom into the Ohio Valley, try to get rid of some of this. There we go. So what is it showing? Y'all, there's 70-mile-per-hour winds. They're in the Appalachian areas. You get it first 50, 60, and in this case, some 70 mile per hour. Look at Ohio, 42-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Pennsylvania, 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So here you got this snow coming in, okay? You got that snow coming in, and you got wind behind it. Man, it's going to be dangerous. And I do mean dangerous driving through this windy conditions with snow that's going to, you're going to have whiteout here, y'all. And I'm telling you right now, we're going to see car pileups here. There are going to be some people that's going to be driving way too fast. It always happens. They're going to be driving way too fast here in Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, upstate New York. There's going to be crazy people that's driving way too fast. It's going to be semi-drivers and people, just trucks and cars alike. They're all going to be driving really way too fast for the conditions, and there's going to be major pileups. Don't be a part of that. If you get into whiteout conditions, okay, you do not want to stop your car, okay? You do not want to stop your car. What you want to do is get off of a ramp and get off the major highways and go to a truck stop, anything, or McDonald's or someplace. Get off these roads if you have blizzard blinding conditions. These squall line conditions that's coming in place with these kind of winds, guys. It is so dangerous, it's crazy. Been there, done all that, and know what is faced with these kind of winds and that kind of snow coming in same time. It is very, very, very dangerous stuff, y'all. Very, very dangerous conditions going to impede up here. Don't be stuck on that. Get the hell off the roads. And don't, again, you cannot pull off to the side, because if you do so, you'll be part of that pileup. You cannot just pull off the road. Cannot do that. Do not do that. or you'll be part of that great pileup that I'm talking about. Get off the roads, find an off ramp immediately, and just relax for a while for for it to move out. To what you got to do. Pack it winter, go baggy. Absolutely, Nancy. You must have what? Warm weather gear in your car. You must have some sand or kitty litter for traction. Okay, but there is nothing more really that you need to do than just get off the daggone roads when these squall lines come through. There's whiteout conditions that's causing just pure. I mean, you can't see 5 feet in front of you. How can you drive? You can't see 5 one night trying to get home from coming home from a base of flakes hitting you, and the wind was just howling. And I literally could not hardly see the road in front of me, y'all. And that's kind of conditions we're talking about. I mean, just crazy conditions are going to impede up here. And it's coming. There's no doubt about that. So don't be part of this up here. Just stay off the roads or get off the roads at, at the best opportunity you can so you're not part of a major pileup. It's going to happen. I'm telling you right now, over the next couple of days, you're going to be out here something really sad coming to this area up here from a major car pileup. We're probably going to hear about a 50 to 70 car pile up here before it's all said and done. I'll guarantee you that's probably going to happen. And it's sad because it's exactly what's going to happen up here. It always does when you see that. We also had a major flare yesterday. We need to keep an eye on this. Also, we had an X-class flare for the last 3 days. The sun's doing some wicked things, y'all. I'm a big believer that everything that the Earth goes through as far as weather is purely controlled by the sun. If you don't believe that, boy, you might want to unfollow me a little bit here, because I'm a strong believer that the sun virtually controls most everything that you see that happens on Mother Earth here. I know a lot of you guys love to indoctrinate things about chemtrails and stuff like that, and HARP. Um, I'm not a strong believer of it, y'all. I'm not. I'm absolutely not. Um, Chemtrails, I don't know. Uh, I guess anything is possible. Our government can experiment with a lot of different things. They do a lot of things that we don't necessarily understand, and things they don't want us to know. Right? That's what our government does. There's things that they're doing that they don't want us to know and understand about, y'all. Even though we may be affected from it, they don't really care. There's experiments that goes on all the time that they don't tell us about, that it probably affects us on a daily basis that we have no idea about, because they want to use it against our enemies, it maybe as a weapon. I don't know if chemtrails are if there's things that's coming out of those chemtrails that's really this crazy stuff you're seeing out there on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, where you're seeing people trying to melt snow and stuff like that, y'all. That is nothing new. That's not plastic in snow you're seeing, okay? If you take a butane lighter, in this case, they're taking a big lighter that's butane, and you put that underneath a snowball, okay? You're gonna get that black soot coming up from it. That happens. That's not from plastic in the snow, for God's sakes, okay? It's not at all. That's what happens when you mix butane flame, okay, with water and snow like that. You're gonna get like a black soot thing. It's not plastic, for God's sakes, in the snow. It's nothing like that at all. It does not work that way. And so don't get caught up in this craziness. All they want you to do is, and they know that. These people know that. All they want you to do is what? Watch their video as long as you can so they make a little money off of it. And the more times it gets shared, is the more money they make off of it. That's truth. That's God's truth, y'all. So don't get caught up in that stuff, Harry. That's just silly. It's just silly talk right there. To think that we got plastic falling out of the sky. That's just that is absolutely fictitiously untrue. Okay. All right, guys. Have a great day. God bless you all. I'll see you guys tonight, probably around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The GFS model will be in the middle of updating then. So about 6 p.m. we should have that update pretty well fully in. And we'll be able to see what the GFS model does. The European model updates about 2 p.m. Okay, it's about 2 p.m. is when it updates completely. What I'll do, I'll take the combination of the GFS update and the European update that updates at around 2 p.m. is when the European model gets completed, and I'll send another message out there as to what they're saying, what these models are saying in conjunction of each other. And you know what, the tools I'm using, it's easy for me. It makes things simple. I can put something out there in a small time frame. Let's see what ChatGPT did. Oh, it's already done. Oh, that's right. I already created that visual effect. What it didn't do though, it didn't duplicate what I did on my phone. I don't know why that my phone and this button here is not married together, because it's exactly the same account, and I'm not sure why that is. But either way, y'all, have a great day. God bless you all, and I'll see you at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day, everyone.